with the City Manager's Office, and it's my honor this afternoon to serve as the MC for our program. Today we are honoring and showing our appreciation for our outgoing council member, Councilman Griffiths. Let's give him another round. Before we get started with our program, if I could take a minute to recognize some guests in the audience. If you could please hold your applause until the end, we will recognize everyone as a group. Mayor George Chen, Councilman John Kaji, Councilwoman Bridget Lewis, Councilman Assam Sheikh, Councilman Sharon Kalani, and Councilmember Jeremy Gerson, and City Treasurer Tim Goodrich. Let's give them a round of applause. In addition, we have a lot of former elected officials as well. Again, if you could hold your applause till we get through our list. Former Mayor Frank Scotto, former Councilman Jack Walser, former Councilwoman Heidi-Ann Ashcraft, former Councilman Tom Brewer, former Councilman Cliff Newmark, former Councilman Jack Mercerlian, former Councilman and former State Assemblyman George Nakano, and former Councilman and former TUSD Board Member Don Lee. Let's give him a round. We have a little bit of a surprise this afternoon, and surprises are good when we are celebrating our outgoing councilman. Joining us today is Mayor Pro Tem Mark Henderson from the City of Gardena, Council Member Ray Jackson from the City of Hermosa Beach, Mayor John Cruikshank from the City of Rancho Palos Verdes, and former Mayor Dave Albert from the City of Lomita. Welcome to the City of Lomita. Next, we'll recognize our department heads. If you could please just give a nice warm wave. If you are a current or former city manager, or a current or former city attorney, and any department head, let's give everyone a wave. And in addition, we have Donna Dupron, President and CEO of the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce. Donna, where are you? Lastly, because I know the councilman so well, and actually this is how he and I got our start together. I know how important commissions are to the councilman. He often expresses it's the pipeline of individuals who go on to take on greater leadership roles in the city. If you're a current or former commission member, please give us a warm wave and so we can recognize you. I missed anyone, which there's a darn good chance, please pull me aside when your first speaker speaks, and I'm happy to wait.
Mayor Serta. Mayor Serta.
Oh, great.
Oh, you already mentioned.
Serta.
I'm sorry, Mayor
Tasha Serta.
Tasha
Serta.
Serta. Oh, from the City of Gardena. Thank you for that.
Viet Huong.
No one wants to meet him, I assure you, no one wants to meet him. And now for two very, very special guests in the audience. Please help me welcome Alex Griffiths, son of Councilman Griffiths. And Cecilia Geronimo, significant other to Councilman Griffiths. I think one of the privileges we have when we serve elected officials is we get to know their family members. And I know for me personally, Mrs. Geronimo, when I met you a few years back, I said, I'm going to be friends with this person. I got to know you through the Torrance Sister. I got to know you through the Torrance Sister City Association, and I'm so grateful that we have a chance to be friends. So thank you for that. With that, I'm delighted to introduce our local elected officials who have a very special presentation for Councilman Griffiths. Introducing this recognition is Mayor Pro Tem Mark Henderson from the City of Gardena. Please come on up. Councilmember Ray Jackson from the 30s. Councilman, if you could join us on that stage.
Hey Mike, this is from ICA, President Richard Montgomery from the City of Manhattan Beach, and myself, President-elect Mark Henderson, Mayor Pro Tem, City of Gardena. We're going to miss you. You've been great on our ICA board. Whoever follows you, they got some big shoes to follow. You were dedicated, and you gave us a lot of food for thought and a lot of things to think about. So we appreciate your leadership. I know you're sad to go, but happy at the same time. So congratulations to you. Thank you.
Mr. Mike, on behalf of the Jewel of the South Bay, City of Vermont and its neighbor city, the good former mayor, Mr. Holmes, had to leave, so I will also be presenting our neighbor, Manhattan Beach, but we'll put that down. No offense to our neighbors.
They're my friends too.
Thank you for all your service, not only to the great city of Torrance, but to us and to the region as well. I made a note earlier, as a relative newcomer, I learned a lot from you, and I appreciate the time that you took to help mentor the new guys. So, all the best. Thank you.
All right, on behalf of Rancho Palos Verdes, and I did not bring the other three peninsula cities, just mine. They all look like, but we're here with our certificate. I will say last night, our council, we were there till midnight, and we passed our housing element finally, but we got to wait for it to get But of course, Mike has been an inspiration to all of us for local control, and everyone on the Palos Verdes Peninsula knows him and respects him and really appreciates what he's doing for all of us. So thank you, Mike, and congratulations.
You do. And I apologize. Mayor Pro Tem Mark Henderson and Mayor Tasha Serta from the City of Gardena have a presentation as well.
Thank you. And Fresno, we're known now as the Emerald City of the South Bay. So that's a new thing since my stay in the city. So we just named ourselves that. So we have a special certificate of commendation being presented to you for all of your time on the City Council. We wish you a nice retirement, a healthy retirement, a fun retirement. And I know every day gets to be Saturday for you now. I know there's going to be a ton of honeydew things that you are just excited to do right now. So congratulations on all of that. Congratulations.
I still don't remember how to do it.
And as I'm sure you can guess, a number of organizations did provide recognition for the councilman as well, and you can check them out on the table over to your left. Retirement receptions are always a mixed bag. On one hand, we are excited to send the councilman off to his next adventures with our well wishes. And we're also very nostalgic when it comes to receptions like these, because we get to see people that we don't normally get to see. In fact, our first presenter today is one of those friendly faces that we haven't seen in a while. He's served 2 terms on City Council, and prior to that, he was actually on the Civil Service Commission when I got to know him when I was the staff liaison to the Civil Service Commission. So please help me welcome back former council member Tom Brewer.
You know, I'm really honored to be here. Mike's a special person to me. He's a good friend. And you know, when you think about making these speeches, you kind of decide, am I going to give a roast or be nice? So I decided, you know, I get to see him a lot, so I'll be nice. You know, I've known Mike for almost 20 years. And when I first met Mike, his name was Michael. It wasn't Mike. And so I'll tell you, when I saw these old things, I like Mike.
Oh yeah.
I thought, you know, I thought I'd seen the last of those 2 years ago. I didn't think I'd see him again. And I'm sure he has 100 more of these at home. So I'm sure I'll see some more of
What
these
are you
too, right?
suggesting, Tom?
I'm suggesting it's time to throw them away. So, you know, I've known Mike for a long time, and I know he has plans of he's retiring. As a matter of fact, this weekend we're going to go see the Acura Grand Prix at Long Beach. And in May, we're going to go see the Indy 500. We like cars, and so we've been to almost all the drag races at Pomona, almost all the Acura or the Honda Grand Prix. The Honda guy. Mike drives a Honda. And as a matter of fact, you know, Mike, you may not know this, but he has something that's really the pride and joy of his life. And that's a Honda 2000? S2000, I'm sorry. He has a Honda S2000. And aside from liking cars, race cars, that car is almost a race car by itself. And he took me up to Crystal Lake one time to show me not only how well that car could perform, but how well he could drive it. And I'll tell you, it was really scary. I didn't want to look like I was scared, but when you're going around these curves, and he's shifting and telling me what he's doing without paying attention, this could not go well. But we made it down.
Good thing you brought the extra pants.
Yes. And we haven't done it again either. I think Cecilia does that quite a bit with you, doesn't she?
She's not scared.
Okay. I'll tell you, knowing Mike, I really admired him. He's really devoted to the city. He cares about the city. He cares about the South Bay, and he's devoted himself to that. And I think when I got to really know him was when I got on the city council, and he was applying for the vacancies on the commissions. And then it wasn't until 2014 that he came up with these little ditties, and this is why he changed his name to Mike. Because up until then, I was checking, it was always Michael. When you applied for the commissions, it was always Michael. And then after that, it was Mike. So he applied for the commissions. When I was on the city council, we talked a lot when we were there. He helped me with my campaign. I helped him with his. And in 2014, he decided to run for the city council. Now, you know, when you're the first-time person running, you don't always win. And I always thought that when something happens, it always happens for a reason. I think when Mike didn't win that year, I think that was probably the best thing that happened to Mike and the city of Torrance. Because he really became an individual person on the city council. He really cared for the city, and he showed, and eventually he got appointed to the city council in 2014. And then in 2016, he ran for election and pulled these old things out again, because he still had a lot. And he won. He then took the mantle of local control. I mean, he really paid attention to that. He was very conscious about AB 9, AB 10. SB 9, SB 10, yeah. And we have to thank him for that. And he's still going to be heading the coalition he started, right? And that's good for us. He was also, when he was on the city council, he also was very instrumental in pulling the city out of the League of California Cities because he didn't like their stand on those two bills. People still like Mike because in 2016 he got reelected. And then he pulled these things out again in 2020 and 2022, and he still got them today. So
I'm retiring those two.
good. I'll help you clean out the garage. Yeah, I think one of the things when Mike and I were talking at lunch the other day, you do a lot of fun things on the city council, and you have, right, Mike? He did. Well, I said, what was the one thing you remember the most? And
You said you were going to say that.
Well, too bad. The thing he said he remembered the most was going in the aircraft carrier, right? It was a lot of fun. And so you do fun things. You put a lot of long hours in. I know how much time he put in. And you could tell that at the city council meeting last week when all the homeowner association presidents turned out for him. That was quite something. And it showed how much they cared for him too, and how much they appreciated how much he cared for the city of Torrance. So I want to tell you, it's going to be fun having more time for lunch.
Yeah.
You don't have to wear a tie anymore. And one of the things when I retired, I thought, I'm not going to tuck in my shirt anymore, but this is so important to me, I actually tucked in my shirt. Thank you, my good friends.
Thank you, Councilman Brewer. Next up to share his sentiments, please help me welcome a good friend of Councilman Griffiths and a fellow public service leader, David Cartsonis.
I'm going to start just by saying thank you. Thank you, Councilman Griffiths. On behalf of all my neighbors, all my friends, a grateful city, thank you. We all have great faith in Councilman Gerson, knowing his record with the community, but the unfortunate part about coming after a beloved councilman like Mike Griffiths is that everyone's going to tell you big shoes to fill, and you do. And just know you have a great example to follow and a great resource to call on. I initially wrote this speech expecting to have to fit it into the 1-minute public comment at the last council meeting. So Mike's consistent critique of me every time I would speak to council is that I need to speak slower. So I appreciate the opportunity to leisurely address you among this distinguished group today. In politics, you meet a whole lot of different people, but Mike really stands out. And I think that's because, in addition to being a genuinely good person, his motives have always clearly been to better our city. Mike is the personification of public service. Torrance is better because of him, and it's often at great personal expense to him. Us policy wonks could rattle off a whole list of ordinances and resolutions that he has supported or initiated, or that he didn't support, that we appreciate, that he should be very proud of. But suffice to say, we live in a very different city without his leadership. One thing that he has done that is a bit harder to quantify, I believe, is his support and nurturing of the future leadership of the city of Torrance. There are countless commissioners in this room, council members, and other local elected officials who have really benefited from Mike's guidance and his support. The fact that you would take my calls, let alone stay up into the wee hours of the morning, give me your advice, speaks volumes about you. And I leaned on you so much a few years ago, and even to the point that now if I get a late night phone call, my son, Michael, no relation to this Michael, but anytime I get a late night phone call, he will say, "Is that Mike Griffiths?" And that brings me to my family. I imagine everyone here likes Mike, but at my house, we really, really like Mike. My kids have the stickers on the walls, so if you throw them away and you get nostalgic, you can come back. We do have them in the bedroom. Michael and Emily send their congratulations on your retirement. If you have any room on your wall afterwards, I'm sure they would draw you something to put up there thanking you. Mike was a person who encouraged me to run for Planning Commission. And now as chair of the Planning Commission, although I'm not here in that capacity. It was really good to know that we had you on council. And not just for your hard work for the city, but the hard work you were doing to protect all of the California cities from state overreach. Those in this room are a bit of an exception, but I don't think many residents really truly know how much you have dedicated to this city and how much of a great impact you have made. If Councilman Emeritus were a job, you would certainly have my vote. We've heard others speak about Cecilia and your legendary costumes, but I hope that with your retirement that Mia and I finally have a chance at winning at the Halloween ball. Congratulations on your retirement. I'm proud to have called you my councilman, and I'm proud to still call you a mentor and a friend. Thank you for your service.
Thank you, Mr. Kotsonis. Next up, she served not one but 2 terms as an appointed council member and 1 term as an elected council member. And to this day, she continues to support the homeless outreach team, helping us connect with the resources that she has in her personal Rolodex. I don't even know if people use Rolodexes anymore, but I think you understand the analogy. She helps us find resources that we need. Please help me welcome back council member Heidi Ann Ashcraft.
Well, thank you, Mike, for asking me to speak today, especially since you have no idea what I'm going to say. Mike and I have a lot in common. We both were raised in the San Gabriel Valley. We both have been involved in the YMCA. We both were first appointed to City Council before we were elected. But I do hold the designation, as Viet said, as being appointed, elected, and appointed. Both of us started our community involvement with our kids. Mike started, I think, as a band booster parent, and I was involved in PTA. To give a little background, you've heard a little bit already, but I'm going to reiterate that January 2006, Mike was voted onto the Environmental Quality Commission, where he stayed until January 2014, when he was voted onto the Planning Commission, where he resigned August 12th of 2014. But then August 19th, 2014, Mike was appointed to City Council to replace Patrick Fury, who had been elected as mayor. And at that time, of course, it was an all-city election. Elections are grueling. But Mike decided he wanted to stay on council, so he had to run at the election in 2016, and then at that time it was still an at-large position, so he had to run for the whole city of Torrance. He was re-elected to City Council as a councilman for District 6 in March of 2020, where he remained until he was turned out last week, which brings up his speech of last week. His farewell speech. It brought to my mind several things that we worked on together as a couple of things that we agreed on and a couple of things that maybe we didn't agree on.
Skip those.
The one we didn't agree on is street sweeping, which you talked about last week. I personally don't think it's hard to move a car on a street sweeping day. Mike does. But the interesting thing is, we've always agreed to disagree. And several times that that's happened, we've stayed friends. Which I think is the exact best way for city councils to work together, to interact, and Mike and I have been able to do that. Volunteers don't necessarily have time, they just have heart. And Mike has a very big heart. The whole time he was on commissions and council, he was very actively involved with the Sister City Association, YMCA campaign, several committees assignments every year, which changed, and attending almost probably every ribbon cutting for every business in Torrance. And I think that was mainly because he owned a business at one point that was very successful that he sold a number of years ago, and he knows the importance of business. But the one big thing he did, and you've heard about it, is creating the California Cities for Local Control on or about September of 2020. And this involved many cities, many people, and the amazing thing is, these people that he brought together are part of all political persuasions. He got them to work together. Now that has to be unique to anywhere. The vision was local control, and he's still fighting. Government is best, which governs least. And Mike and I agree on that one. Warren Venus, who's an American scholar and author, and he's very well known as a leadership expert, he said, leadership is the capacity to translate a vision into reality. Mike's done this many times. He's a true leader. You've heard about it, and it's true. I'm grateful for the time I was able to work with him on council. He's definitely made people's lives better. He's made a true impact and also a better future for citizens of Torrance and beyond. Mike, you've had so many years of each day waking up, having a list of places to go and things to do. But now you can wake up each morning and not have a plan or have a list of things you have to do. In the words of Forrest Gump, life is a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Each day now he can wake up and he doesn't need to know what he's going to get that day. So Dan and I wish you, Cecilia, and Alex good health, joy, and prosperity with lots of fun days of not knowing what you're going to do. And I brought a box of chocolates so you can remember.
Good thing I like chocolate.
Thank you, Councilwoman. And for our next presentation, if you can give an extra loud round of applause, because they're all my bosses that are coming up on stage. Please welcome the executive staff.
Signs and banners. Councilman, we're going to give you the replica. Well, that's a full-size Torrance monument sign, but I think that's too big, and you have the small one. Just want to take a moment on behalf of the executive team, everyone here, Patrick Sullivan and his team, just our sincere appreciation for Councilman over the last 10 plus years, including additional time on the commission. We adjusted the air earlier, so I hope you're comfortable. We used to get the text messages. I will still respond to your text message. Please send me the business, I appreciate it. I have 2 assignments from tonight already. But again, you were there with us during some very challenging times. If you want to see my full version of the speech, it's last week's council meeting, but I'll spare you the details. Just sincere appreciation helping us out with COVID, your steadfast support for local control, all the advocacy. And I know deep inside, you exhibited and proved your support and admiration for our city staff. While at times you were a vocal critic, which we appreciate, you made us better for it. And so when you're in your retirement, driving around town, looking at all the projects that we have initiated and the legacy projects that we will implement, you'll know that you had a piece of that. And so for that, I appreciate the support, the guidance, and for entrusting us with Torrance. Before I present what we typically present, not only you have your I love Mike signs, and I'm putting this on because he's now retired, so we don't take signs. So we pulled together, thank you Lord. And again, if I may take a moment to thank Isela and Viet, our cultural arts team, everybody involved, and our cable communications team. I always tell people, you hire smart people that do their job, and then you show up and look at this wonderful gathering. That's a testament to Team Torrance. So, Councilman, before I present you your other sign, I put together, thanks to you, Lauren, a complete set of I Love Torrance. So, Councilman Watson, if I may take another moment for a plug. If you have the sticker, there's a QR code, you have to download it and get the app. You get the app, you get Torrance Alert, buy Torrance, and connect with us. So yesterday, we posted the rocket ship park. The rocket ship is being remodeled. So Mr. Santana here had a great idea. Hey, why don't we go document it? 40,000 views later, we've gone viral, folks. That's the power of the internet. That's the power of social media. That's the power of storytelling. So thank you for allowing all our crazy ideas and for increasing my authority to $250,000. We'll get things done. Right, team?
Yes, sir.
It's on camera. So, Danny, you want to Craig? I think we have something. Councilman, if you want to join us.
Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
10,000 views this picture.
That's really cool.
Thank you, executive team. The next group to present is personally meaningful for me. In fact, it's probably the area of greatest overlap I have with the councilman. The organization is called the Torrance Sister City Association. And the reason why it's so meaningful for me is because they work diligently to promote cultural enrichment between the city of Torrance and our sister city, Kashiwa, Japan. In particular, our next speaker is someone I have had a chance to get very close with. And there may be a few surprises of other people who will be joining him, who I have also been very close with because of the work I've been doing with the Sister City Association, of which the councilman has been the council liaison for the past, since 2016. The math is 8 years. At this time, I'm pleased to introduce the former Torrance Sister City Association President, Warner Willoughby.
Thank you very much, Viet. You sort of took my first 2 lines and said, how long has Mike Griffiths been the liaison for the Torrance Sister City Association? After some research, Viet determined that Mike became liaison to TSCA in July of 2016. That was just a heads up, a follow-up to the question there. We have our association meetings on the second Monday of the month, and Mike has been very close to having perfect attendance for those 8 years. I'm serious. Throughout this time, Mike has been a very engaged and active participant, always sharing his expertise of city functions and our relationship with the city, before, during, and after our meetings. When Mike spoke, we all listened. If it involved TSCA, Mike was always there for us. We were very lucky that he took his role as liaison seriously and with such dedication. TSCA kept him very busy. In addition to meetings, there were welcome receptions for the Kashiwa students, square dance and chili cook-offs, Bunkasai, the Little Tokyo Tour, Hollywood Bowl programs, and events like the Sayonara Banquet, where he presented certificates to the host families. If the mayor could not attend our functions, such as the alumni reunion, Mike always stepped in at the moment's notice to introduce all of the city council members and city staff in attendance, and other warm welcome message to potential student ambassadors for their programs. Mike was very vocal about issues involving TSCA in and outside of the city council meetings, always promoting our goals and activities. We couldn't have asked for a more passionate advocate. Mike, on behalf of the Torrance Sister City Association, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to you for the generosity of your time, effort, and passion supporting the organization. We will miss you more than you can imagine, Mike. There are 4 other TSCA presidents who worked closely with him for 8 years as liaison. So if they would join me up here, please. Hazel Taniguchi, Donna Dunlap, myself, and Karen Wheeler since January, our new president. We have a little gift. Mike, would you join us, please? Donna.
Mike, we do appreciate all of your efforts to be with us at our association meetings, at Bunkasai, you name it, you're there. I want to say you were the best liaison we've ever had, but there might be other ones in the room. But you have come to all of our meetings, and no one else can say that. So we're not going to forget you, and we're hoping you don't forget us. We'd like to present you with an appreciation award. you're very welcome, you deserve it.
Well, thank you so much.
So thank you for all of the years you've been with us.
Both sides of me. Okay, I got two sides. All right, thank you guys.
Twice.
Years as mayor. Please help me welcome back former Mayor Frank Scotto.
You know, it's always tough going last. I want you to know that because people have used a lot of my lines, unfortunately. But I've, Mike knows what I'm supposed to do today. I'm supposed to roast him. And I hope nobody in the room gets mad, but I've toned it way down. So I've been nixed on a lot of other things I wanted to say. But you know, me and Mike go back, way back. When I used to call him Michael, I did the same thing. And then he got mad at me one day and he said, you know, I'm not Michael anymore, I'm Mike. I go, okay. But you know, the funny thing about today, and I call Mike a lot, but the funny thing about today, I am absolutely shocked he was awake to come to this on time. Because I gotta make sure I call him, it's gotta be after 12, but closer to 2 or 3 would be the best time. So Mike, you know, I know you're a late nighter, but and one of those reasons why he's a late nighter, you know, I mostly don't realize, and you look and saw the pictures outside, Mike is a long lost brother of Gomez Adams. Nobody knows who that is? Well, that's Fester. And you can see the pictures he took with those costumes. Well, it comes to the Halloween ball with these costumes on, which one time he sat right next to me, and I didn't know it was him. Seriously. But he did. So anyway, Mike, you know, he's really willing to make us all laugh and with his costumes and everything. But he, when he believes that something is important enough, Mike would even do it if the odds are against him. So those are the kind of things we would talk about all the time. I mean, there was many times I would say to him, Mike, I don't think you should bring that up, but he did. And lots of times he was on the losing side of the vote. And you know, that's a person that you really want as a councilman, who believes in what's right for the community. And Mike was that guy. I really mean that. Mike, I'm really proud of you, and not that I was your dad or nothing like that, but I feel that way at times. Mike is the only councilman, this is the only one I can use, by the way. Mike is the only councilman that I know that has the same amount of hair today that he did 10 years ago when he started. Proud of it. And you probably don't realize, and that's given to me by one of the people in the audience, so he's looking at me like, you're going to give me credit. You probably don't realize it's here, okay? There's M&Ms in there, right? So Mike, why don't you come up for a second?
Help, right?
Oh, no.
Now, I was going to make this into a big deal, but I've already been nixed on time, so I want everybody to know that this is abbreviated.
It's worried.
Now, when Mike talked about things on the city council, he did a great job of explaining to the public and to his fellow council people. And sometimes I see council people shaking their heads. He had to make it demonstrative so his council people would understand what he was trying to say. Okay? Because sometimes, you know, they didn't quite get it. And that's why he was always a little loosey vote at times. Poor Mike, he worked on SB 9, SB 10 diligently, and he still does. And against it, yes. Against it. Against it, I'll say it again, against it. But he wanted to give a demonstration. Now, some of you probably didn't see the council meeting, but one of those guys that watched crazy council meetings late into the night and sometimes into the morning. And so this one particular night, I'm watching, and in front of Mike, yeah, there you go. In front of Mike is this fishbowl, and I go, what the heck is he doing with this fishbowl in front of him? And then he starts his rant, let's say, about housing. And the story goes that, you know, we continue to put housing in the city. You want to do this for me, or no? You did it already. We continue to put housing in the city, and bit by bit by bit, we're adding to traffic. And so what he was trying to prove to everybody that in the city of Torrance, you know, we have a lot of traffic. And every time we approve another housing project, we're adding more traffic. And so what he didn't do right, though, he didn't do right. His bowl wasn't big enough. His bowl was almost full. So I called him the next day. I said, Mike, you didn't make big enough bowl for the more traffic we're going to have to put in the city of Torrance, because we've got to put another 5,000 homes. And so I figured tonight you're going to speak and talk about M&Ms. I realize that. And so I'm going to leave those up. You can take that home with you, by the way. Actually, you can put it back in here. You know, I got to tell you, Mike is a good friend, and probably the only person that stood him up on a cruise, believe it or not. They couldn't go, and he was so gracious about that. So I thank you for Mike. I really appreciate it.
You had a good time without you.
You should have said you had a better time.
I was going to say that. I'm trying to be nice.
Well, okay, you're going to be nice. But Mike is one of those guys you can always call for anything. He would help you do anything. And everybody that spoke said a lot of great things about Mike. But from the heart, I really mean that Mike's been a great friend, and I expect you to continue doing things for the city of Torrance. And the city is a better place for the last 10 years because you were there. Good job.
You leave us here. I'm going to talk about this later.
A few words of my own directly to you. I mentioned it earlier. One of my first experiences with you was when you were a commission member. And I distinctly remember, for those of you who do not know, in order to be a commissioner in the city of Torrance, you do have to go through a certification class that Mayor Scotto created. And I started in the city manager's office in 2010. And I met Councilman Griffiths in 2011 or 2012. And it was the first time I was presenting to a group of people about the contents of what it means to be a commission member and the requirements. And at that time, Commissioner Griffiths beelined me right after my presentation. And I had disclosed that I was pretty new to the city manager's office. And he sat down and number one, praised me and said, really great presentation. And then number two, he said, here are some things to think about on the importance of the commission process. It's a way we engage our residents who may not have a desire to be an elected official. I know that may be shocking for some of you. Not everyone wants to be an elected official. And he sat down and talked to me about the importance of creating a pipeline through an appointed process. People can feel engaged. And then he talked to me about the importance of my role. And I really appreciate that moment, Councilman, that you took time to see someone who had potential. Maybe you're disappointed now, but at the time you nurtured someone who had potential, and I personally appreciate it. The other thing is, and Mayor Scotto gave me grief about it, at the last council meeting, I was taking notes feverishly when other people were speaking about you, or when you were speaking about what you had most pride in. And I do that because I can sense emotion in me. As I was listing all the things others were saying about you, I could sense what came up in me as being important. What struck me of the list that you said and everyone else said that was most meaningful in my relationship with you is your effort in strengthening the community. Anything from the amphitheater at Olson Park to recognizing centenarians, to advocating for Dodger Day, City of Torrance Dodger Day, to bringing back commission recognition with the city clerk's office. What you do is you build community, and you build all segments of the community. So when I think about my connection with you and what I will always remember about you, it will be the commission At this time, please help me welcome our outgoing Councilmember, Mike Griffiths.
All right. Don't know quite where to begin. First, I'll say thank you to Viet for emceeing this and coordinating so much of it to make this a nice day. Did a fabulous job, as always. You're an awesome person and do a great job for the city. You knew it was going to happen.
You're okay.
I'll get it together in just a minute. The food must have been good, or otherwise I don't think this many people would have showed up. And so thank you to Acela for making that happen. Before I get into all the thanks, thank the two most important people in my life, and that's Cecilia and my son Alex. I'm trying not to make this a rerun of Tuesday night. That was a little long, and we only have a few more minutes, and I know staff has to get going at 5:30. They're off the clock. And I don't want any overtime as a result of me. But Alex and Cecilia, I know that you've made sacrifices because of the time I've spent on the council, and I appreciate it. Those M&Ms look tasty. Don't know where to start. Didn't prepare anything tonight. First, I'll start with staff. Thank you, Ron, for being a great leader for our city, and also your predecessor, Mr. Jackson. I know you're here in the back room as always. I've enjoyed my opportunity to work with both of you and with all of the staff. And as Ron continually reminds me that I was critical of staff, I do want to say, because I firmly believe it, unlike some other people I know who've said this publicly, but staff is not always right. And so I don't apologize for being critical of staff. Doesn't mean I don't like you or don't support you, but no one's always right, including us elected officials. And so please don't take the criticisms I've dished out in a bad way. But I appreciate staff because, as I said Tuesday night, staff has always been there to make me and all the elected officials look good. And for that, I'm very, very grateful. We have some really, really wonderful staff that are going to be around a lot longer than I am or the rest of our elected officials who will be leading our city into the future, and for that I'm very grateful. For those fine individuals who came up here and said something about me, I'm going to try and bring up each of you in some way. I'll start off with my friends in the sister city. You guys have such a wonderful organization, and I'm so proud to have been a part of it. And I'm still a member, and I'll still continue to be involved. Maybe not at the same level as I was, but as a matter of fact, let me put in a plug. Bunkasai is this coming weekend. And as I frequently announce at city council meetings, I hope that everybody has a chance to come and support the Sister City Association at the Bunkasai event held right here, Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 11 to 5. Thank you so much. I don't have my notes in front of me. But Sister City, you've been great to work with. Cecilia and I have had the pleasure of 2 wonderful trips to Japan as a result of the Sister City, and Even though that doesn't make up for all the time that I spent with you, it was still well worth all the time that I did put in to support you. You guys are an awesome organization, and I look forward to your continued success. Let's see, where do I go? Tom? Yeah, we'll see you at the races on Sunday, on down the road, but thank you for being a friend to me and a mentor. You know, I don't think I could have done what I've done without your help to get me here, so I appreciate all you've done. David Kartsonas, our planning commissioner, away in the back too. Oh, and Mia. Thank you guys for your friendship, and I really enjoyed being a mentor to you, David. And I'll still take your calls going forward to help you continue your advancement in our city, and I look forward to helping you. You're a great individual that deserves to be supporting and leading our city, and I hope you get there someday. And I'll continue to help you do that. Let's see who else spoke on me. Heidi, where are you, Heidi? Where'd you go? There you are. Heidi and Dan, you've been tremendous friends to me. Heidi, yes, I can move a car for street sweeping. The problem I have is that the fee for not doing it is ridiculous, and the city shouldn't be generating revenue from street sweeping. I'm all for keeping those gutters clean. And we continue to disagree on that one, but that is truly why I think I've appreciated Heidi so much, is because unlike many of my relationships with other elected officials, if we disagree, we can still be friends and get along and be cordial, and that has been, you've been a bright light for me on council, and thank you for your friendship and mentorship over the years. Who else am I forgetting? Oh dear. I know Frank was up here for a little bit. I can't remember what he said. It has something to do with M&Ms. Frank, you know, you've gone from a non-development, anti-development person to now a pro-development person. I don't know how anybody flip-flops like you. Many politicians I know that flip-flop all the time. I'm kind of surprised. I always thought you were going to be one that sticks to their guns, but you flipped on me. My M&M experiment, my demonstration was to show that Torrance is full. And by adding the M&Ms for all this new housing that, it's not Frank's idea, but it's the state's idea, is creating, and all these traffic studies are BS, the amount of cars that all these new housing is adding is going to create a problem, because we're not improving our infrastructure in our city. And that's one horse I'm going to get on, is that if we continue to build housing but not improve our infrastructure, we're asking for trouble. And that was the whole purpose of my demonstration, is that we're adding all these people to our city, but we're not making their streets bigger, and yet these people have to drive places. They're going to go someplace. They're not going to leave their cars. And that was my example that Frank failed at, was that the is now, no rebuttal for you tonight. The wall is now overflowing, and we have more traffic than we can handle, and adding more cars is not going to make the situation any better. So when you look at those packs of M&Ms, please remember that. Please remember who you're voting for in Sacramento, who's pushing these bills upon our cities, who are taking away the most important thing that our cities have, and that's the right to determine how we want our city to be. And I so strongly disagree with what Sacramento is doing on that. And it's not a partisan thing, as someone kindly mentioned. The effort that I've been working on now for almost the last 4 years on this local control issue is a bipartisan thing. We all live in communities no matter what party we're a member of. And hopefully, and I've proven this through the outreach and the volunteers that have signed up with me, is we all care about our communities equally. And so this is not a partisan issue. This is an issue about protecting our communities and what we want to see in our communities. And for that's something I will continue to fight even after being off of council, because I believe in it so strongly, and I've had such a wonderful time meeting so many people around the state who feel the same way as I do and are passionate about it or needed a little bit of education, and I've been happy to provide that to them. So, as I said Tuesday night, I hope our current council will continue that passion for protecting our local control. Get the M&Ms right, make sure you understand that we're full. And I understand that we have, unfortunately, some laws that are causing that to happen that are against what we can vote to do. But I'm taking too much time on a subject that I could talk about all day. Thanks, Dave. My proudest moment actually came last week at the council meeting. I got to tell the pork chop to shut up. I hope that someone else will follow in my leadership, making sure that that happens on a regular basis. He's wasted enough of my time and your time and everyone else's time in the future. And thank goodness he's not here. But anyway, I hope he watches this video. Hey, pork chop. Stay away from City Council. Keep going to Redondo Beach. They love you. Anyway, it's been a pleasure and a pain to be in this position for the last 10 years. I'll do my best to try to remember the pleasurable moments, and most of you who are in this room have been a part of that, and I appreciate your love and your support over all these years, and I will be seeing you around.
Oh my gosh, Mike, I just can't imagine City Council without you. I know you don't have to be on City Council for me to be able to talk to you because you always welcomed me there. And I just want you to know that I thought you were very brave all the time. You were always fair and you thought through what you decided to do. And I like Mike.
Hey Mike, congratulations on such a wonderful career. You've done a great job, and I know great things are in store for you in your semi-retirement. Enjoy every minute of it. You deserve it.
Mike Griffiths is my idea of an ideal city councilor. He's all for the people, he listens to you, and he's been such a rock on the airport issue in recent years, and I can't begin to thank him enough for just a little bit more sleep in the morning, less planes. Thank you, Mike. Have a wonderful retirement.
All right, Mike, I know they're going to miss you on City Council. You've put in a lot of good years, a lot of good work. We're really grateful for you and your expertise and everything you bring to the Salvation Army Board. So we wish you luck as you step down from City Council, but I know you have a lot of good years of service to the community still left in you, and we thank you and we love you a lot.
Hi, Mike. I just want to congratulate you on your incredible years of service to the city of Torrance. As you know, I served on the council between 2008 and 2013, and when I look back at your service, it really epitomizes what's best about Torrance. Independent voice, critical thinking, and a dedication to our community. Thank you so much for all you've done for Torrance.
Hi, Mike. Congratulations on your retirement. Well deserved. We're going to miss you an awful lot. Your guidance, your perseverance, your common sense, they've all served Torrance so well. You're going to be really hard to replace. Hope to see you again soon.
Hi, John Cruikshank, Mayor of Rancho Palos Verdes. I'm really honored to be here for Mike Griffith. He's been a good friend. Torrance is obviously a great friend of the city of Rancho Palos Verdes, and having great leaders like Mike is important. We're going to miss him, and like my sticker says, well, actually this one doesn't say it, but I like Mike.
Well, Big Mike, congratulations. It's your big day. What a great reception, and as by the turnout, it's well deserved. Take care, buddy.
To my dear friend and mentor, council member Mike Griffiths, you will be sorely missed. I will miss joking with you, having fun with you, making wise cracks and remarks to you. And just so you know, I'm going to win the bet, I promise. All the best to you and Cecilia for whatever you have planned. Please don't be a stranger.
One of the measures of a good politician is how the residents feel about them, not just the people in power. And one thing about Mike is how unbelievably happy the residents of the community and the community leaders around him are. We are unbelievably sad to see him go, unbelievably happy for the next chapter of his life. Mike, congratulations, have an epic voyage, and we're behind you all the way.
And we still like Mike.
Yes, I still like Mike. As these fine people have already said, he has really listened, has taken our calls, has given us reasons. You can't ask for more. We appreciate him, and yeah, he deserves a break.
Hey, Mike, you can see Dan is standing here. He's not going to talk, but what we want you both to know, we wish you the very best of health, lots of good, fun memories, and joy in your city retirement. You're not retiring totally. You've retired from a business. Now you've retired from city council. So maybe a little bit more time for us to play you-know-what game, and I'm going to be politically correct, so I'm not going to say it. But we wish you fun and love to you both you and Cecilia, and we'll see you soon to play that game.
Hey Mike, it's Jack. I'm wishing you a wonderful retirement and thank you for all the many years of service you've given to the city of Torrance. You deserve the break, and I wish you a wonderful adventure in the future. Thank you again.
I want to thank Councilmember Mike Griffiths for a decade of public service. It is not for the faint of heart, and I reflect on the last decade of what you've done for our community. I think about service above self. Thousands of hours of dedication to the community, supporting public safety, helping to keep us accountable, helping to be transparent, speaking for the community, advocating for our city, especially today, even with local control. So thank you for everything you've done, and no pressure, but thank you for everything you're going to continue to do to lead, especially in the place of local control and keeping the quality of Torrance so special. On behalf of myself and the entire police department, thank you for your service.
Have I told you lately that I like Mike? Oh, I'm going to so miss you being up there on the dais, but I know you'll still do great things behind the scenes like you've done for decades. Dude, thanks for your service. I love you.
Hey Mike, how's it going? I'm glad to see you showed up, first of all, and you weren't supposed to wear a suit, but you did. But you're here on time, which is really amazing. Did you just wake up to get here? I think you did. But anyway, Mike, have a great time being retired, which I know you won't be just retired. I realize that. You'll be doing something for the rest of your life with the city. But you did a great job as a councilman. Thank you, Mike.
Hey, Mike, good luck in the future now that you're retired. I remember all the days back when our kids were in junior high doing all the 8th grade picnics and 8th grade parties. And I couldn't have picked a better partner to help me do all that. Thanks. Good luck in the future. Keep in touch.
Congratulations, Mike, on your retirement, the many years that you served the city of Torrance, and in particular our neighborhood, which you no longer are the council member for. So we hope to see you in real life, and best of luck to you, mate.
Mike, this is Hassan. I really appreciated all the help that you have given. You are from my district. I mean, you represented District 6, which my business is in, and this has been an exceptional help and advice that you have given us in order to get things going and improve the city and our situation. And we really are going to miss you, and hope to see you in other positions later on. Thank you.
Hey Mike, welcome to the ranks of the retired. And retirement isn't that bad as long as you keep busy, and hopefully you do. So we'll see you around. Again, enjoy your retirement.
Mike, it's Totran. Thank you so much for always being such a kind person. You really helped me during my campaign to be a commissioner, and I just really appreciated so much warmth and how welcoming you were to reaching me about Torrance, and I'm just so inspired by you. Thank you so much for your service.
Mike, on behalf of Don and I, good riddance. No, I'm kidding. Of course, you know that. We love you and can't wait till you have all the time to relax and enjoy going out to dinner like we've been talking about for the last year and a half. So anyway, enjoy your time off, okay? We love you dearly.
Hey, what Ed said. I'm done.
Hi, Mike. I just want to say I really do appreciate you, everything you've done for the city. And hindsight is 20/20, and you know what I mean about some things we could have changed. I'm really glad that you made it the whole 10 years. You did a great job, and we look forward to seeing you some more. And you and your lovely girlfriend, and we will maybe go to dinner soon. All right, bye.
Mike, you know that I wish you the best always. I'm going to miss you so much sitting beside me on council, but you haven't seen the last of me, and you know that I also think that you can't stay away very long, so I look forward to seeing you soon. My best wishes to you and Cecilia always.
Hi, Councilman. I want to wish you a well-deserved retirement from your official public life. Sincere thanks for all your support, honesty, and really persevering through very difficult challenges. Like I said, your legacy will live forever through SST, through COVID, and all the challenges. You were an advocate for Torrance, and I hope you continue to reach out anytime. Best wishes in your retirement, sir.
Congratulations, Mike. It's been a great run, and I'm really happy for you, and I promise to be on time at the meetings.
Hi, Mike. It's Major Tim. I just wanted to say I'm not here ballroom dancing, but I am here cheering you on, and just wanted to express thank yous for all the great things you've done for our community and, of course, for the Salvation Army. God bless you.
Hi, Mike. Just wanted to say thank you for all the service you've provided to the city of Torrance. You've done an excellent job with the city council and the YMCA, and just happy to be called a friend. Thank you.
Hi, Mike. This is Lori. Thank you so much for all you've done for the city and for Torrance Sister City Association. I wish you all the best, and we better see you around town sometime. Be well. Thank you.
Hi, babe. I guess you know who this is. Looking forward to your retirement and all the adventures that we're going to have together. Love you.
Congratulations there, Councilman Mike Griffiths. This is Mark Henderson from the City of Gardena. You've done some great work. Your community will miss you. Don't go too far because we all need you. But go ahead and take some rest because you did the full ride and you did some good work while you were here. So the communities, not just Torrance, but our surrounding communities appreciate your contribution. Mark Henderson.
Top of the afternoon to you, Councilmember Griffiths. Ray Jackson, City of Hermosa Beach. Cheers to you, brother. Thanks for what you've done for not only your great city of Torrance, but for the South Bay and in particular Independent City. So thank you for helping me as a new guy and helping to educate and coach me on everything that I needed to do to be successful. It has absolutely been a pleasure. Cheers. All the best. Enjoy all this free time now.
I'm so happy for you that now you get a little R&R, but I'm sure that you're going to come back stronger than ever and keep helping our community because that's you. You can't stay away long. So, bless you. Thank you for all you've done for Torrance. And it's going to be hard being without you for a while, but we'll survive if you are going to promise all of us that you will be back someday.
Hey, Mike. I went in your old office. It's very clean. Congratulations. I'll miss you. Bye-bye.
Well, Mike, this is your big day. Just want to congratulate you on your many years of service to the city of Torrance. And I know that this is something you very much care for. I just want to wish you the very best at the next phase of your life. Thank you.
Mike, congratulations. I hope you have a wonderful retirement. I really want to thank you for supporting Torrance and helping myself and my family in Torrance. You've been a great representative for our area, and I'm sure you'll continue to work hard for Torrance no matter where you are. I hope you get a chance to have some fun and travel and do all the things you really want. Thank you again. We really appreciate it.
Hello, Mike. I will start with saying that I will miss you. You have been a great friend, great mentor, and great colleague. You have taught me so much in the little span of time that we worked together, and I'm very proud of that. Every single thing from you, every single suggestion from you, that meant so much for me. and I'm very thankful for you to giving me your recommendations and working with me. Have a wonderful, wonderful retirement. I'll see you around.
Hey, this is Hamid. Hi, Mike-san. You know, I'm from Japan. We really appreciate you so much what you have done between us for the exchange program or the culture exchanging for many years. We will miss you, but please don't forget, come back to Japan.
Hey, Dad, you know who I am. We're here at your retirement event, and I hope you give me a lot of M&Ms when we get home.
Mike, Karen Wheeler here from the Torrance Sister City Association. Thanks so much for all of your time and interest, and best wishes for a really happy retirement. We love you.
Wonderful, Mike. I just want you to know it's been amazing working with you. I've only gotten to work with you for about 1.5 years, but it's been an amazing 1.5 years. I think the world of you and everything you do. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your days.
Have the microphone and I can say all kinds of things about you, but I only want to say nice things. I'm so glad that you have been our liaison from City Council to TSCA. You did a great job, and you know the City Council people used a lot of adjectives to describe you and your work, and I agree with every single one of them. The best one, though, for me was friendship, because no matter what happens, whether you agreed with us or not, we were still friends, like somebody else said. So, Mike, I wish you happy retirement and best wishes for the next phase of your life. Bye-bye.
Mike, you're like the Rolling Stones. You said, you had a farewell tour, but you'll be back. We know that.
Might have quit this job, but we got another one for you, CCLC. We're going to work hard with you. And that includes Mario, myself, and everyone else. Thank you, Mike, for all the hard work you've done at the city. You deserve a lot of credit for what you've done.